Okay, Commander. Make your way to landing pad 3-2. Automated docking confirmed.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing completed. Disembark when ready.
points and observe all evacuation protocols. Station-wide alert. Do not be alarmed. Leave all personal belongings behind as you make your way to the nearest evacuation point.
station regulations on exit.
Scan detected.
You have exceeded the station exclusion zone. Watch your 6, Commander.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2.
You are welcome to approach, Pod. Request accepted.
passengers who wish to remain in this system must depart the carrier at once.
Incoming message.
All services are now offline. Network access will resume following hyperspace travel. Attention. Carrier has entered pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended. Landing pads retracted. Hangar bays secured.
Orcas are now secure.
Sealing airlocks and handholds. Designated airlocks are now sealed. Access to secure area is restricted without prior clearance.
Maintenance task confirmation is acknowledged. All decks are prepared for hyperspace. Attention, all carrier crew. Frameshift drive engaged.
Attention. Counting down to jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carrier jump successful. Telemetry checks in progress.
Attention. Carrier lockdown has ended. All services have resumed.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Hudson lays groundwork for political successors. President Zachary Hudson has announced a raft of legislation he intends to push during his last few months in office. Political journalists have noted that many of the points would benefit the Republican Party while in opposition to the President-elect Felicia Winter's administration. A press release from the Office of the Federal President listed the key initiatives currently underway. First, a new media standards agency will be established to regulate independently operated news feeds in federal systems to ensure local issues are presented in a format which adheres to federal values. Second,
Ruta Maya Echo Victor Echo. Station services have been informed of your arrival.
corporations that have exclusive contracts with the federal government will be granted significant tax rebates on President Hudson's executive authority. Third, the Federal Navy Intelligence Office will establish a data sharing strategy with the Proactive Detection Bureau. This will broaden the net to capture even more criminal activity. Fourth, funding will be granted for a political think tank. This will be a cross-party institute to gather ideas, strategies and research that benefits the entire Federation. An editorial in the Federal Free Press pointed out the potential downsides to each of these initiatives. First, Seoul Today's CEO Neva
Permission granted. Set down on landing pad 205.
Farnan is on the board of this independent regulator, thereby ensuring local news feeds will have a pro-Republican voice at the highest level of oversight. Second, Felicia Winter's administration will be forced to reverse these rebates to cover the loss of tax-generated revenue, which is guaranteed to cause friction with those corporations. Third, the Federal Navy could provide military-grade technology for public surveillance to bypass legal encryption software used to protect private conversations. It is likely Winters will be furious about this proposal, given her election pledge to dismantle the PD entirely. Fourth, outgoing Secretary of State Lana Berkovich has volunteered to act as this think tank's congressional liaison and assume the authority to decide which of its reports reach those in power. Thargoid
3,000 meters from touchdown.
Abductees reconnect with society. People who have been rescued from Thargoid Titans remain in quarantine, but can soon expect family visits and access to comms networks. Aegis reported that biostorage capsules are still being successfully extracted from the Thargoid motherships, albeit at high risk to pilots. Each revived individual has been placed in medical isolation, as per guidance from Aegis
Landing gear deployed.
specialists. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Corcoran, who coordinates the Alliance's involvement with Aegis, discussed the situation in a session of the Assembly. All abductees are being monitored for signs of Thargoid physical or mental influence. So far, I'm pleased to say, these test results remain negative.
Attention. Weapon fire restrictions are in operation at this facility.
Compromised. Taking damage.
Therefore, those from Allied systems are now permitted to receive visitors while remaining under strict quarantine conditions. They are also being granted direct
Touchdown confirmed. Execute system shutdown. Our facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
access to comms and public media. I understand that federal, imperial and most independent authorities will shortly follow suit with their own citizens. Director Nassim Kadir, head of medical research at Azimuth Biotech, was quoted in a formal statement from the corporation. Isolating all the returnees was prudent, but they should not be treated like normal people. The Thargoids went to great lengths to capture living humans, and we have not yet determined the reason. It's possible they are acting as carriers of an alien pathogen, or affected in some other way
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
that Aegis's inferior procedures cannot detect. We propose that Azimuth Biotech takes exclusive control of processing all those recovered from the Titans. We have the techniques, equipment and experience in researching human-Xeno interactions. Only after being subjected to an intensive battery of examinations should these subjects have their civil rights and freedoms.
Detachment sequence complete. You may proceed when ready.
Returned. Grace 1 fleet destroyed in Shamash. Pilots Federation alert. Crazed pilots that were killing civilians in the Shamash system have been eliminated. The local security force vessels participating in fleet exercise Grace 1 were exposed to an anomalous
Landing gear retracted.
signal, which then circulated through the fleet's networked comms. This apparently triggered a violent mania that caused them to attack passing traffic. Captain Ulrich Maurer of the megaship Konsu Gleam announced that an operation to eliminate the threat had concluded. All Grace 1 ships have now been targeted and destroyed. Though tragic, this action undoubtedly saved many thousands of lives and has brought peace to the system once more. Santu State Network, in agreement with Shamash Future, has agreed to reimburse all independent pilots who took part. Payments are available
Frameshift drive charging.
for collection at the Konsu Gleam. Shamash Future confirmed that Garrett Orban
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Eligibility check. Docking request accepted. Proceed to your designated path, Commander.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed. retracted.
You have departed the no-fire zone. Farewell, Commander.
There's another BioWaste village on deck C. Sanitation team response. Maintenance team Sierra 2, please monitor the communications array.
There's been a number of people who have been unhappy. There's been a number of people who have been unhappy in the ongoing fight
Drive charging.
against AI. Xbox has decided that they're going to team up with AI and do God knows what. There it is. Like, I know he didn't do it. Like, everybody knows this is fake. Like, what are we doing here? What's wrong with people, bro? Like, why is this? Why are things the way they are, man? What the fuck is this, man? Like, I don't understand this. Like, how does a person like this exist? How does a person start talking and thinking like this? People are so fucking dumb. Like, what do you think? How is this a problem? Because an AI machine drew a picture of Kirby flying into the two towers? Like, what is this gonna do? Is it gonna blow up another building? Who gives a shit? You don't like it, don't look at it. It's like, oh, well, it's like Beetlejuice, guys. If we have the AI create 3 of these pictures, a building's gonna blow up in real life. The fuck is wrong with people? It's crazy. It's disrespectful. Who gives a fuck? Just don't look at it. It's a pretty stupid take. No, it's not. It's not a stupid take. Like, see, here's the thing. I am tired of having moral arbiters tell me what I can and I can't look at. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. It's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. I'm so tired of these losers, these fucking freaks on Twitter. These are people you wouldn't even want to be alone with your kids for 5 minutes. And they're trying to tell you what is and isn't okay for society. What the fuck are we doing? We're gonna listen to this freak? We're gonna worry about this? There's people starving and somebody's worried about an AI picture of Kirby flying an airplane. Holy shit! What the hell is wrong with people, man? Problem with this is it'll replace writers. Why is that a problem? Why is that a problem that it'll replace writers? Now think it out. Shit, writers replaced. No, it's just it is if you're a writer. You could say that for anything. Should we not have automated fast food places? Because it replaces fast food workers? Ain't nobody talking about that. Nah, man. This is the future. This is reality. Quit trying to hold everybody back in the Stone Age just because you're afraid. It's just the truth. You can't hide from this. It's gonna happen no matter what. What are you doing? You're trying to live in a fantasy world. It's not 1995 anymore. You wake the fuck up. Automated fast food isn't as fast. It will be faster. Literally an assembly line argument. People are so dumb. They sure are, man. They sure are. It's people that are making arguments that are morally based in their own best interest. These are not principle arguments. This is not a principled argument. This is like if you apply this argumentation to another type of thinking, it would immediately fall apart. And I think that this is the problem that a lot of people have with this, is that I have no problem with a person, like, for example, you have somebody and the Unabomber. He didn't like the Industrial Revolution as a whole. He didn't like any of that. And he said, hold up, I'm not going to be a part of this at all. And it was not just him. Other people said this shit too. He was not the only person who thought this. So, at least people that have a consistent ideology, I can understand that they are thinking from a position that is not... What's the word for it? It's not informed by their own best interest. That's all it is. Fuck fast food workers, but protect my job writing product descriptions for shaving cream on Amazon. Yes, it's self-serving. No one said shit when email was created and thousands of postmen lost their job or no more positions were added. Well, that's because these people, here's the thing, and there's a soft bigotry to this too, and I'm going to go ahead and explain what it is because we all know what it is, but nobody says it. It's these people think that jobs like being a postman, being a mailman, or being a fast food worker, these are low-rent jobs, and they're bad jobs that nobody wants to have. And so they think that they're doing these people a favor by removing these jobs from the economy because these people don't want to have these jobs. Now, for the most part, maybe this is true. Maybe for fast food it is true. For being a mailman, I can't say if it's true. But there is a sense of bigotry to it. Because they're saying, we know what's best for you. You don't like your job, so let us solve this for you. But don't ever try to use this on my job because I like it. So we have to protect it. So we have to, for the sole interest of giving me more money for the rest of my life. It's insane. Postal workers do not get paid well. I mean, a lot of people don't get paid well. There it is. Some writers don't get paid well. Microsoft announced a partnership with startup InWorld AI over its website, stating that the deal would help build tools for AI-generated dialogue and narrative at scale. One of these tools is AI Design Copilot that will let developers type in prompts and have these creative ideas turned into detailed scripts, dialogue trees, and more. The second tool is an AI character runtime engine that is integrated directly into the game client to generate stories, quests, and dialogue completely on the fly. So this is what's happening, and we have another person, and this is narrative design. Obviously, let me go back and see if I can find this. There's a bunch of other political shit. Jesus, this girl's on Twitter a lot. Holy fuck. I'm not going to scroll that far down. Yeah, anyway, love to have an AI co-pilot who steals my work and devalues my labor so all corporate can make more money and keep me precarious. The reality is that these things exist for the best interest of the customer. And if the customer sees a value in having things that are AI generated because of the frequency in which they can be created being much higher, then the age-old saying is correct. The customer is always right. And the companies that do it will succeed, and the companies that don't will fail. And that's just how it goes. Now, I have to say, I find it to be a little bit poetic that a lot of people like this and other writers on these different websites for these different things were patronizingly saying a couple of years ago, learn the code. Well, maybe nowadays they should follow their own advice. That's the way it goes. But how did AI get those curvy pictures, though, and the deep state hit them well? Yeah, they sure did. AI will be better coders. They just have to learn how to mine coal. Well, I mean, at least they're going to do something, right? Rather than complaining on Twitter, retweeting 50 fucking things an hour, it's not helping anybody. Who cares? Let's see this. People working on these AIs also just do their job. Why should they get slowed and put down because someone else doesn't like? They can create something that does better themselves. Yeah, exactly. Does the WoW token exist to serve the customer? Yeah, it does. If customers... People love the WoW token. If they didn't, they wouldn't buy it. The people that don't like it are just a small minority. The average player loves the WoW token. So, current obsession with ChatGPT and other related large language model tools, boost proprietary character engine that will bring games to life with believable NPCs that respond organically to players' actions. I think we're a bit farther away from that than I would imagine. Maybe, like, probably people say we're here now. You know, I saw that Skyrim video, etc. I think it's going to take a bit of time until, you know, this kind of stuff is down. Right? But in 5 years, I think this is just going to be a reality. Seamlessly integrated into real-time applications for optimization for scale and performance built in. Let me tell you guys something. A lot of developers already are utilizing AI with their games. They're already doing it. They're already planning it. It's already going to happen. Like, these are for games that are going to come out in years. Despite no major games shipping yet with the tools, the backers are already valuing the startup at $700 million. Wow. Players experimenting in the tools in Stardew Valley and Skyrim. Grand Theft Auto 5 mod was mysteriously nuked from the internet earlier by publisher, seemingly for its inclusion of NPCs using in-world's AI tech. Microsoft seems less worried about potential creative and legal minefield for companies shipping entire games using the tools. Well, the thing is that if Microsoft cares about it, that's very cute and nice, but I'm sure there's a bunch of Chinese companies that don't give a shit about it. And the truth is that customers want to play better video games. They don't really care about what goes into the video game. They don't care about, like, what the, oh, well, they're using AI and it's unethically using a person's art to learn how to write other art. Do you think anybody gives a fuck about this? No, nobody cares about this. This is a problem that people on the internet have. It's not real to anybody else except for them. AI art is stolen? You think people give a fuck about that? It's so... You really think people give a fuck about that? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this. What are you talking about? They really don't care. Yeah, I'm sure artists care about it, but nobody else does. There's already a massive lawsuit. Well, there's no lawsuit. There's no global law. You should be a developer. We steal code constantly. Of course you do. Everybody steals shit constantly. Absolutely. It's common sense. People still care about music, software, ad blocks, but AIs are where they cross the line. Go figure. The only reason why is because influential people on the internet see it as a risk. So they use their influence to make people think that it's bad. Let's see here. So the Game Awards, this is an announcement here, and I'm going to read some comments that people made about this, okay? When my Joker died in Arkham City, I cried a lot. In the moment, I lost my love, and it felt real, and I was emotionally struck. I think there's something to be said for humans voicing characters that bring the audience along on an emotional journey. Can't believe that I have to say that. No, that's not true. I don't believe that at all. I think that's just because she liked the voice. I think that if you replace that person with an AI and you never told her, she'd be crying anyway. That's what I think. There's actually a study. I saw this recently. Let's take a look at it. This is a study here. It was testing for human biases against AI art. And take a look at this. A study called Biases Against AI Art Can Enhance Perceptions of Human Creativity. Almost 3,000 people. I would say 3,000 is a relatively good in. What do you guys think? I would say 3,000 is a good number. Yes. This is a very good sample size. The scientists discovered that on all the dimensions, art labeled as AI scored lower to participants than art labeled as human. This was true whether or not the source was correctly labeled. This proves that humans are biased against AI. It was notable in monetary value and perceived skill. Uh-oh. Interestingly, more than 70% of participants indicated they could not differentiate between AI-made and human-made images without the labels. They also found that technically minded people were just as biased as other participants. Many other studies have taken findings and replicated them in other ways. There it is. And there's a link right here. Or not a link, but information right here about this. It just came out. And so we're seeing a lot of people get a lot better at this stuff. People are just stupid. So whenever you hear this girl talking about crying about some bullshit like this, do you think that's not replicatable? Well, I think it is. Well, I bet it definitely is. One requires passion and effort. The other one requires you to type in a prompt and press generate. Why would I care about the passion and effort that comes into something? I just care about how it makes me feel. See, you know who cares about that stuff? People that put in the passion and effort. Because it's in their best interest to do so. People care about the outcome of things. That's why they make shirts. That's why they wear shirts made by sweatshops and use phones made by slaves. It's because they don't really care about the effort or anything that goes into that. And here, let me use a little bit of logic here. Synthetic diamonds becoming quite popular. A lot of people use synthetic diamonds, and they're becoming a lot better. It's another example. It's something that's as simple as that, and diamonds are supposed to mean a lot, right? For like getting married, etc.
Detachment sequence complete.
People still use it. They're lab created. Rare Asmon L, sorry, bro. You are not disagreeing with me. You are disagreeing with observable reality in every single manifestation possible. So I want you to understand that. This is not my opinion. This is just the truth. I'm sorry, guys. That's why she's inactive. What is she doing? I don't know who this is. Who is this person? She's a voice actor. What a surprise. A person who's a voice actor is going to have an opinion that is beneficial towards voice actors. Who could have possibly guessed that? You gotta believe in human creative power. Not everything should be surrendered to AI. Has it ever occurred to you that AI is powered by human creative power? People just hold value to natural found diamonds because of cultural reasons, even though they're much worse to buy morally. Yeah, of course they are. She's primary voice for Harley Quinn, a lot of DC anime movies. People pretend every voice actor is amazing when shitting on AI voices, but most are shit. They don't see it because they only play good games. Well, I think also it's this other factor too. It's the fact that obviously, whenever you look at something in a bad light, well, people are going to say bad stuff about it, right? They're going to be negative about it. But eventually it will get better, and people will have a better opinion about it. That's what I think. Shouldn't people appreciate the artist more if there's a requirement for the AI art to be a thing? Well, I don't know. Getting AI to replace jobs in game dev is great because game devs have had it so easy this year. True. Who's this guy? Talking video games. Again, this will definitely help against layoffs for sure. Destiny 2 community manager. I love how these people think that they're entitled to a job. They think that the customer should pay more money for the product because they're entitled to a job. No, that's not how it works. It's outrageous. It's an outrageous, completely self-centered mindset. This is another Xbox W. I'll read a few comments about this. There's a lot of people that are mad. This will cut jobs. Game developers have to be concerned about this. I'm sure game developers are concerned about it. Absolutely. Of course. I'll read a few of these. They have to adapt to the world evolving. Of course. People never want the world to change whenever the world changing means they have to do something. That's it. Entitled to force shit or work on the consumer instead of stepping up and being more worthy of compensation. Well, I don't know. I think it depends on the person. When Deep Blue beat Kasparov in chess, it was a huge upset, but AI didn't limit the human passion for chess. In fact, accessibility to AI components in chess has risen its popularity to the highest point ever. Well, I think that's probably true. I mean, I think chess is pretty popular. People care about chess. People want to create video games, they're going to leave because their video games they've wanted are now considerably easier to produce. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Can you explain your take on AI? Here's my take on AI. I think that AI should be used whenever people think they should use it. There are probably some moral, like ramifications, and I think that there are like edge cases that could be ethically or illegal, like that they could be bad like that. But I support using AI in, like, I would say probably 95 to 99% of things. Absolutely. And the reason why is because this is a technological innovation, and I don't think that we should hold society back from an innovation that will make life easier and better and more complete. So that's why I think AI is good. And also, if people don't like AI, that's totally fine. They can consume products that aren't made by AI. There are plenty of shirts that are made by actual, American, like labor unions. Now, they cost a lot more money, but you can buy them if you want to. An example of this is Hassan. Hassan sold t-shirts, this is about 2 years ago, and he got them sourced from America. Now, did the t-shirts cost more money? Absolutely they did. But you're paying for something because of where it comes from. You see what I'm saying? So it's not that this is impossible, and that's an example of it. AI changes the game in favor of capitalism. AI, so this is another opinion that I have, that like you kind of have to put two of these together. Like I think like you have to have both of these. I don't think it's a company's responsibility to provide a job to people. It's not a company's responsibility to provide an income to an employee for the rest of their life. It's not a company's responsibility to take care of a citizen. That's the government's responsibility. And I think the more that we start trying to make McDonald's responsible for somebody's retirement, or somebody being able to live in an apartment, the more I think we let the government off the hook. It's the government should be responsible for this. The government are the ones that take the taxes, and the government are the ones that have the money and the infrastructure to give everybody else the fucking money. Like whenever you get your Social Security, it's from the fucking government. You get Medicare, it's from the government. You get food stamps, it's from the fucking government. All of these entitlements are from the fucking government. So there it is. The government's AFK. Well, the government's pretending to be AFK. But the point is that I don't think that we should rely on companies to solve these problems, because they never will. Companies sometimes pretend like they'll solve the problems in order to make people not want to resort to government. Because the companies don't want the government to solve the problems, because that means that they will tax the companies more money. So the companies act like, oh, we'll take care of you, everything will be fine, don't worry, you don't need to involve the government, and then they don't do that. Less government, the better, yep. Well, I agree and I disagree. I think that in general, companies can behave like governments. And this is something people don't really talk about a lot. But companies that function together, like for example, whenever a person gets banned off of social media, like Russell Brand or Alex Jones, these companies are working together as as effectively a government to execute a unilateral punishment on a person with no fair trial. At least in Russell Brand's case. In Alex Jones' case, well, actually, he did get his trial later on. He lost, but they didn't know that at the time. So, companies behave like governments as well. So in a lot of cases, you're going to need the government to help you from the fake government. There's not like some sort of like utopia anarchist society where nobody takes control of things. Do you remember whenever they did that thing? This was in like the year 2020, and it was called Chaz, where like they shut down an area of Portland, and they said now we're our own nation. Do you remember that? Remember Chaz, the block? Yeah. And do you remember what happened? Is it Seattle? Yeah. And so, like, what happened at Chess? They said, oh, well, we want to be free from the American, system. And then immediately they just make their own system. Because that's what happens. Your opinion about Chaz is wrong? What about it is wrong? What about what I said is wrong? Want to know what your mindset is. You've been banned 2 times. Oh my god. 12 timeouts? Who is this kid? I don't even think he was... I think he was just memeing. Like, he's just an idiot. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, so, they say 3rd time's the chance. Yeah, he's just miming. No, it is what it is. But all I'm saying, that's my perspective on it, right? And so, like, I'm a big advocate for AI-based stuff, and I think that people who act like there's this human element to it that they can intrinsically determine if it's real or not, I think they're completely full of shit. And they're going to be more and more wrong about that every single year. I think that they're making shit up whenever they say they can tell the difference between something that's AI made and something that's human made. I think that they can probably do that most of the time, and then in the future they'll be able to do that some of the time. And I don't think that there's any sort of like intrinsic like some sort of like soul level awareness of this. I think they're just looking for different points of like weirdness. That's all. They're delusional, yeah. They're delusional. Opinion on AI art? I think AI art is great. I'm a big fan of AI art, and I think that it's a good thing. It's possible that as time goes on, more of the time, if AI takes over, it'll be easier for you to just say, yes, AI. Yes, it will. Absolutely.
Wow. This one's a winner.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by David Blaine. He's known the world over for his street magic and endurance stunts that include everything from being buried alive for 7 days to encasing himself in a block of ice to holding his breath underwater for 17 minutes. He also has a pair of high-profile projects on the way, with his documentary adventure series Beyond Belief with David Blaine coming soon to Disney+, and his 6-show Vegas residency with dates through the remainder of the year. David Blaine, welcome to the show.
Wow, thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, by the way.
I'm very excited to have you. I know that you're someone who can push themselves, but how are you around spicy food?
I don't know how I'm going to do with enduring this, but that is my thing. But I'll tell you, so just to give you an idea of how much I love hot wings, when I premiered my show, which was the only premiere of a show I did for Real or Magic, they wanted to go do it in a big place with a big movie screen so everybody could see it, you know, and I said, no. we have to premiere at Blondie's. And the premiere is in a buffalo wing joint, a sport bar buffalo wing joint uptown in New York. So, and nobody could hear the show, but I was happy because I could eat all the wings.
So this first one is the classic chili maple edition here.
Oh, great.
Very nice. Maple, first time trying this one, hitting.
Yeah, it's great.
As someone building a big stage magic act in Vegas, I'm curious if this quote from David Copperfield rings true to you. It takes 500 shows to get a trick right and more than 1,000 to make it feel good.
That was one of the things that amazed me about David was I went to see him after a show and it was Saturday and it was midnight and they were all so exhausted and his partner Chris says, oh, we've been here since 10 a.m. We've done 3 shows. And like 3 shows in a day? Because like my show has to be like once a month or twice a month max. I said, wow, how many shows are you doing every day? He said, well, we do 3 on Saturdays, 2 on every other day. Guess how many per year? 300, more, 400, 500, nope, 600, 650 shows? I go, whoa, like David, like that's crazy. What are you doing? And he says, well, it takes me about 500 to get a new trick right, so that's the beginning of starting to understand a new trick. And I went, got it, bingo. So yeah, I love that mentality, and I agree. And I think all of my magician friends, it's like the ones that I love are just, it's a compulsion. It's all they think. It's great.
Yeah, a little Scotch bonnet, tropical action in there.
Oh, it's great.
So when it comes to your obsession with magic, I've heard you recount multiple origin stories, much like the Joker explaining how he got his scars. Who is Lou Tannen, and can you describe to me a typical day for a 10year-old at Tannen's magic camp?
I'll tell you about that. That's funny, but I'm not going to tell you about the camp. I'm going to tell you about going to Tannen's.
Okay.
Back then, the store was like this darkly lit shop with all these glass cases. And the glass cases had all these objects that you would die to have. So I'd stare at these things and just dream of like, oh my God, what could be done with all of those things? But then in the back room, like this little side area, but not in the store, if you were lucky, the best guys in the world would just be hanging out there. And so I'd sit there and they would like blow my mind nonstop. Luckily, by the way, as a kid, I only did magic to my mother and her friends, because if I did to other kids, they're a tough audience. They're gonna be like, hey, you weird, you know?
Yeah.
You suck. So I did all the magic to my mother and her friends, and I thought I was good because of their reactions, and then I just wanted to keep learning new things to, you know, make her amazed or whatever.
Might be like one of my favorite hot sauces I've ever had. I'm just having
That
this
one's really good.
moment now, yeah. So this is the first shoot of the new season. It's my first time trying the hot sauces. Pico Rico. I just made my way into Mount Rushmore.
I hate to say this, but I kind of love all of them so far.
Yeah, they are. They're all hitting. Delicious lineup. So your name is synonymous with death-defying, larger-than-life spectacles, and to watch them from outside, they look like just such a pure stress test in human concentration and misery. But is there one that you'd describe as being like the most fun? Ascension to me
was the
looks
most
fun.
That was the most fun, but that's because it was with my daughter, so that I worked out the hard part of it before she came to make it fun. But I have to say, all of them are so fun. I think it's similar to this. Like, I think it's like, so it's like you go in and you're like, you're going up a mountain really hard, but like you're so excited about it. And yeah, you take a couple of shots, obviously, but it's the, like everybody says, you know, it's not like getting to the end, it's like that whole process. So that process, that learning curve is what keeps me excited about life. So you know, so I can't. So they're all fun in a certain way.
Well, that actually really resonates with me, because while you were saying that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel about these kinds of shoots, where they're all kind of their own journey and then their own experience. And then as much as you can kind of figure out how things are going to go, there's lots of variables that you can't always test for, and things always go kind of sideways, and then you have to adapt to those things. So
And
I
that's
see.
the stuff that I think is the best. It's like when you have to deal with the unknown, it's always amazing. So like on stage, when you get like a curveball, it's like that's what separates, I think, like a magician that's really comfortable to a magician that's uncomfortable, and which makes one seems great, one doesn't. The one that seems great, even though this guy might be just as practiced with the moves, the one that seems great when performing is when a curveball comes, he's ready for it. He, no matter what scenario he's hit with, he can keep going. And it's interesting because with magic, people don't know the end result. So since they don't know the end, it's not over until you say it's over. So you could be like struggling for 10 minutes, but if the end is a monster, I like that whole, you know, the not working and then make it work. I like all these questions, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you very
Yeah, they're
much.
really
You know,
good.
it's kind of early on in the game. You know, I have plenty
Oh,
of
so
time.
easy,
I have
yeah.
I have plenty of time to knock this thing off the tracks.
Oh, great.
Looking at your face, I can tell it looks like we're 4 for 4 so far.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Mhm.
So your new documentary series, Beyond Belief with David Blaine, has been described as a global odyssey across remote cultures, each embedded with unique histories and practices. Is there a mystical tradition that you learned along your travels that you thought was most compelling, or that more people should know about?
Well, basically, when I was working on learning how to put a gallon of water in my stomach and then spout it out, I saw a little video of a guy doing it in Africa, and we couldn't track him down. He wasn't a performer. He lived in a mud hut outside of Liberia by like 4 hours. So we spent 5 years trying to find him or something like that. And he had the secret. So I flew all the way there, learned the secrets from him, stayed there for, I think, a week or something like that, practiced all day, every day. And then finally I got a little water spout, which means basically you put a gallon of water in your stomach, then you can hold it for a few hours, then you can spout it out like a stream. I still haven't mastered, but I was trying it over and over, trying to get better and better. And a good friend of mine calls me up and says, his name was Dirk, he says, you know that thing that you put on your show where you spout the water? I think I can do that. And he comes over, and he comes in my bathroom, drinks a gallon of water and goes, psh, and he does it better than any magician in history. So I spent years, traveled the world, and the guy that could do it lives next door, like 2 blocks away. Yeah, I love it. I think I preferred that not as oily, but it's still great. Yeah.
First time with the oil-based
And it's
sauce.
still great, though.
Thumbs up,
Yeah,
thumbs up.
Still good, yeah.
All right, Dave, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram. We're doing a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context. And for you, we have a theme called What Went Wrong. And we're gonna start from 2006, Drowned Alive, where you spent a week inside a glass sphere filled with water.
What didn't go wrong? First of all, before I stepped in to the water tank, all of a sudden they said, oh, you don't have insurance. You need insurance to get in the tank. And all of a sudden I'm supposed to start the stunt. We didn't have the right insurance for Lincoln Center. So I was like, uh-oh. So then we're, you know, going crazy trying to get the right, of course you need all that stuff, but it was just one of those things that was overlooked. Then we go in, and the hands and the feet, we didn't understand how that would become so painful. Like a pain that is crazy.
I remember seeing the pictures of your hands.
And then the breath hold, the big thing. My whole goal was I wanted to go obviously to the record, which was 908. And I think I got to 708 and I started convulsing. My best friend happened to be in the front and he yelled, stop it! And they all jumped in and pulled me out, but I felt like I could have kept pushing, you know, for like another 40 seconds or something like that. So anyways, so yeah, there was a lot of things that were crazy.
From April 1999,
This
Buried
one-
Alive, where you
this-
spent 7 days and nights in a plexiglass coffin.
This one was the biggest mistake. It was the easiest one in retrospect, but my friend, Bill, same guy, said you should have something before you go in. So he gave me like it was called a mango bomb. It was a mango juice. and I couldn't use a bathroom in there, obviously, other than number one. So the whole week, I had to hold the bathroom. It was so painful, so difficult.
All right, one more for you. This is from September 2020, Ascension, where you soared almost 25,000 feet in the air while holding on to dozens of weather balloons.
Part of my plan was to go higher than anything on Earth, which was Mount Everest, 29,072 feet. And we stopped at 25,000, but they were remote popping the screw because I think they felt that I was starting to become a little hypoxic up there. So I think I'm up there trying to go higher, and I hear and my balloons, and I'm suddenly not going up anymore. But it was perfect because nothing happened, nothing went wrong, so it was the ideal, amazing scenario.
Nothing has gone wrong so far in the hot sauce lineup. Are you ready to move on here to the back half?
Sure.
All right, so this one, turmeric bomb here in the 6th spot.
Oh, I love turmeric. Yeah, that one is hotter. Yeah.
So Magic historian Jim Steinmeier, he argues that the biggest problem with Magic in the internet age is that it's damaged the skill of learning through asking. What are your thoughts on YouTube and the effects of social media in general on Magic as an art form over the years?
Well, first of all, it's amazing that everybody now has access to see the great stuff. When I want to see the good stuff as a kid, when I want to see the best stuff as a kid, I'd have to go to the Museum of Broadcasting, and you'd have to go through an archive because there was no way to dig stuff up. So it is amazing that you can study, see, and learn from all the greats. The disadvantage is what you're saying. It's like people like to copy, so when they see it and they don't become... When you read a book and learned a routine, you kind of processed it and you figured out your own presentation of it. And I think that's the best way to get your own character and your own learning curve. But I think he's right about that there is a side of it that is like, well, it's so accessible, and then the secrets are all given away. But the secrets are often, number one, inaccurate or the wrong method. You know, I think the good stuff is still hard to find.
So this next one has kind of a fun name, Cosmic Disco here, in the 7th spot. It's a party, we'll see.
Wow, this one's great. Taste-wise, this is like amazing. No, this one's amazing. This is, so far, this is my favorite. What? No, seriously, this
because
one's
it's
incredible.
hot as fuck. I respect it. I respect it.
If I wasn't here right now, I'd be eating these down to the bones, by the way. I've had people come up to me in restaurants and say, you eat like a pig.
Well, here, open season. Let it fly however you want, David Boyd. So academics and scientists, they've used you as a case study on the limits of the human condition. Do those findings, do they demystify the human condition for you, or is it the opposite?
No, it's the opposite. I think that's what I think is amazing about life and humanity and everything, is that we're able to do things that we just, it's like you can keep dreaming up or coming up with things and we're able to achieve them. I love when I fail because it just gives me a chance to try harder and become better.
All right, so this next wing is the bomb beyond insanity. We always go out with the old, in with the new on each new season, right? Except for this one that stood the test of time because it's just that brutal. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, so, whoa, going right in.
Launch underway.
Wow. Good.
Wow.
This one's still my favorite, though.
Yeah, I don't think that this one
The
is going to
Cosmic
take
is still
anybody
my
off the
favorite.
throne. Yeah. This one is just... But here's where I'm kind of diving into your mind a little bit, because I'm wondering, do you have like an especially strong hot sauce tolerance, or is your ability to kind of like concentrate, compartmentalize pain, focus through things, do you think that's giving you an edge here in this kind of setting?
I think I just like mentally prepare myself or something like that, and then I'm ready for whatever.
Oh, hold on one sec. So, when you were a teenager performing at posh restaurants for diners, what was like the #1 guaranteed crowd pleaser kind of trick in that setting?
Well, let me interrupt you on a thought.
Sure.
So there's a magician named Garrett Thomas. He's incredible. And he knows how to walk up to you and destroy right away. And the reason why is because he works in Buffalo at a buffalo wing joint. So he has to get your attention over loud screens, sport events, people eating wings. So it depends. You want something short, visual, and strong. For me, it's usually cards. And then once they're, oh wow, this is interesting because there's some strange weirdo standing over me trying to do magic while I'm eating. And then when you have them engaged, then you can start to do the stuff that that you're passionate about.
You and me are probably similar in that we've seen some of the craziest physical reactions face to face with some of the biggest stars in the world, you know?
If we took your reactions and put them to my card tricks, I'd have like a whole new brand of magic.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
I need to pour like hot sauce on the cards. Take a card, now lick it.
Damn, let's take this show on the road.
Take a card, lick it.
Let's take this show on the road.
No, it doesn't matter. Look, card just...
We can move on here now to number 9, if you're ready.
I would love to.
It is called Unique Garlic Smoking Ed Curry.
Gudemaya, Echo, Victor, Echo. Welcome to Federal Facility. Please observe all standard docking procedures.
Wow. Yeah.
This one. Wow. This one's a winner. Wow.
Yeah.
This is from Pucker Butt.
Yeah, Pucker Butt.
I get it. But this one's delicious. So this is the first one I'm like getting like a whoa.
Yeah.
I got buzz.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you're liking the taste.
I love it.
I know, I can tell.
This one's incredible because it also gives you that rush.
Yeah, I got that rush. I
Yeah.
got a head high right now, David. I got a head
Yeah,
high.
that was nice. Yeah.
As someone who's done 9 primetime magic specials, what would you say was like the goofiest creative note or suggestion you've ever gotten from a TV executive?
One of my favorite reactions to a trick was I made a quarter disappear off of a boy's hand in Barstow, and his reaction, he just looked at it and went, cool. And I was in love with this kid. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest reaction ever. Like he was so, it's like what I do when I'm doing magic. I give it time and I'm bizarre and like that was everything. And I showed it to everybody so excited. And they're like, that doesn't work. That's not good TV. And I was like, look how amazing he is. And I fought. I was like, I'm airing that. This is my first show, by the way, so I didn't have like, I was fighting and I had
some
like
guts,
no, yeah. And everybody loved it. That was like one of my favorite TV moments. That was like the one that I loved the most. I had to
Landing
fight for the
sequence
hardest to
completed.
run.
Power down systems.
All right, David Blaine. You don't have to if you don't want to, but as a showman, I can see you're going there. Whoa.
You're gonna do it up.
I gotta meet it. I have to meet the opportunity. Showman at heart over here.
So this is the final one.
This is the final one.
It's good.
Yeah. Of course
it's
it is.
really good.
Of course it is.
Wow.
David, we gotta have you as the premiere every season, you know? Just have you come in and make sure that we got the right sauces. All right, so David, we've taken on the Wings of Death, and now the rest of the show, to me, is kind of a mystery. I don't know anything that's about to happen. All I know is we are to clear the sauces, right, Dom? That's all I know. So we'll clear the sauces from the table. All right.
I brought a picture of something. Here, actually, I'll hold it this way.
Okay, Carolina Reapers. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah, I've eaten those a couple of times. I want to stay as far away from those as possible.
Let's see. See how they just look like they start to go?
Yeah.
Let me just open up the case, because these you don't want to mess with. So see like here, we actually have, these were a special from Smokin' Ed, directly. My favorite footage is you and Klaus.
Yes. Yes, down in the basement of Jimmy's eating Reapers.
Yes, that clip is amazing. So, yeah, so a little gift from Smokin' Ed. I think you know these well.
I know them too well.
And will you just, I mean, I'll show you all the cards are different. Mix them up. Just, yeah, perfect. That's good. We'll go face up. So can you pull some halfway out? Pull some. Which one did you want? That or that? Which did you mean?
I want this.
That one?
Yep.
Not this one.
Not
or
that
this
one.
one.
This one.
Or did you want that one?
This one.
The king, the suicidal king.
Yeah,
Is that
suicidal
intentional?
king.
Is that why you chose that one?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so we'll use the suicidal king. So look, I just give it a little. Actually, can you pull the piece for me? Yeah. Not as good as the wings. It's gone.
Yeah, it appears to be gone.
You choose one for me and one for you.
All right, I'll have this one. You can have that
Are
one.
you sure?
No, I'm gonna swap them.
Do you want to change back?
Yep.
Do you want to change again?
No, I'm set.
You're set?
Yeah.
I took a knife from your kitchen. Can you cut the pepper that you chose in half? Yeah, and open it. Pull it open. You see inside. See, there's a card. Yeah. And you see that little piece of the card is the King of Hearts. And here, put it right here. Let's put it right next to it here. You can see that this is actually the exact piece that goes right there. And this is a piece. Yeah, this is.
What the fuck? Amazing. My brain is frazzled right now. This is a Smokin' Ed pepper.
And here comes the part that I'm most excited about, that I've never done, by the way.
All right, are you ready?
I don't know.
You never are ready. You never are ready.
Cheers.
Cheers. Grip it and rip it. Oh, I already know what this is gonna be like. David Blaine, this camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Wow. Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. That was pretty awesome. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, so that's the Hot Ones experience.
Amazing. Yeah.
So, you've never eaten a Carolina Reaper before?
Never. This is my first time.
Oh. What do you think?
Amazing. Smokin' Ed is my hero.
He is. He's all of our hero.
And I was like, because I asked you guys, to get the pepper.
Oh.
And then everybody said, no, he's like, whatever, you know. So then I just figured out, I'd call Smokin' Ed, and he's amazing.
Of course he comes through.
Yeah.
Oh, this milkshake hits.
I know.
Okay,
Thanks.
that's right.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. And Hot Ones fans, I have a very exciting announcement. The Hot Ones Shake Shack collab is finally here. The Hot Ones cheese fries, the Hot Ones burger, the Hot Ones
You have
chicken,
exceeded the
all
station
made with a
exclusion
shack
zone.
sauce that
Take care,
includes
Commander.
Hot Ones the classic along with the last dab. It's very spicy, it's very delicious, and it's available for a limited time. Now through the end of the year at Shake Shacks nationwide and via the Shake Shack app. Be careful around your eyes, and don't forget to order a milkshake.
Scan detected. Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Nice.
Wow!
Really nice.
Wow!
It's got a good taste.
In awe. In awe.
Very good.
What a wing eating technique. This is not your first.
I'm not cute with it. No, I eat.
Check my back.
I mean, I don't want to look like a pig in the show.
No, people will respect this. You're cleaning the wings like a champion right now.
These red ones look real scary.
Oh, yeah. Quite delicious. Nice.
Wow!
It's really nice.
Wow!
It's got a good taste.
In awe. In awe.
Very good.
What a wing eating technique.
I'll watch this. This was an interview IGN posted yesterday, and it was with an interview with Paulie Longdale and John Haidt. These are two of the main people with WoW. So we're gonna watch this MCU style. Well, of course, that's like, I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, it's so good that have you guys seen all the posts recently of them talking about how they're gonna bring it back? They're gonna bring back everybody from Endgame. I was a very big Marvel movies leading up to Endgame. I have not watched a single movie after, but I actually have liked a lot of the movies. I think a few of them are actually genuinely amazing movies. I really like them. So yes. And also, like, even if you disagree, you have to acknowledge that it was extremely popular. And because it was extremely popular, everybody is trying to do the same type of thing.
What's up, everybody? This is Matt Kim from IGN, and we're here at BlizzCon 23 with Holly Longdale and John Haidt from the Warcraft team. Hello.
Hello.
Good show so far?
Absolutely, yeah.
I like going in with a nice question.
It works.
Yeah.
And we answer in unison. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. We have fun here. But let's just dive right into it. IGN readers are super excited that we got not one, not two, but 3 World of Warcraft expansions announced all at once. go into. I'd love to learn more about the process of just being like, you know what, let's do it. Let's announce 3 expansions.
Honestly, when Chris Metzen came and returned to us and we started that process, this bubbling up of this passion around the 20th anniversary is almost upon us. It's time to change the conversation, make some big bets. Let's take World of Warcraft in a direction that we may not have imagined in the past. And you throw something like that at someone like Chris Metzen and the team, and he came back to both of us with this idea that, you know, I mean, you've seen Chris Metzen. When he starts sharing an idea, you know, I'm an idea fairy. I love big ideas, so does John. And there was just no way to not get behind this idea that it's an incredible epic story and we wouldn't be doing it justice if we tried to do it in 1 expansion. And then we were talking about 2
Well, I think that's true. I mean, obviously, like, having expansion-wide narratives. I feel like also another big influence for this was obviously Final Fantasy. I mean, Final Fantasy had, like, this same overarching saga of the expansion, and it worked really well. And even you look at Lost Ark, for example. Like, Lost Ark, what are you doing? You're killing the Legion commanders, and then you're gonna kill Kazaros. Like, there is a narrative that exists in the game that you're building towards, and it's been going on for a long period of time. And I think it's becoming more popular as, you know, these, like, IPs get bigger and bigger.
Expansions, and we're like, yeah, it's still, there's a lot more room to grow this tale, and that's how it became 3. And it did start from this essence of, we want everyone to be able to enjoy World of Warcraft and really take us on a journey. And part of that too is, you know, when we say multiple expansions, the other factor in this is we want to do them faster so that you will get this incredible tale in a way you would expect from World of Warcraft with everything you expect.
So they are going to release the expansions quickly. Maybe that's why they have more raid tiers. I think having 3 raid tiers in an expansion is totally fine. By the way, I don't have any problem with that at all. So yeah, there's gonna be 3 tiers. I think it makes sense that they're gonna try to make more money, especially because the main reason and the main way they make money is through subs, and they haven't increased the sub fee in like 15 years, right? So it makes sense that they're going to try to find other ways to make money to make that up. Because think about the prices. It makes no sense for them, not me. Well, I don't know. I think I think at a certain point, I don't really think it would matter if the game was good. I think people would happily buy the expansions if the game was good.
Frameshift drive
Doing an expansion, but we want to get you there with these epic moments faster. And you know, we have some of the inside scoop. What is coming is just it's and the team is just rallied.
Yeah, I mean, it naturally, the story really expressed itself best in 3 parts. You know, the team had already been planning on, we want to go into the center of Azeroth, we want to go under the ground, which at first we were kind of like, underground,
They also didn't keep in mind, like, I'm sure they thought of Legion. And, like, Legion was very successful in part because it was a 15-year story. Like, Legion was, like, everybody knew about the Burning Legion. Everybody knew about Illidan. A lot of people knew about Sargeras and, like, you know, Archimonde and Kil'jaeden. So the truth is, like, WoD kind of led into Legion. So they've kind of already done this in other expansions.
You know, I don't know if we want to do, you know, that much time just digging in tunnels. And they're like, no, this is going to be expansive. We're going to have these huge caverns. And you know, we actually play around with it in Dragonflight, you know, just showing you can fly in a cave, you know. So, of course, we can do big things inside the center of the Earth, or center of Azeroth. And I think that part was already kind of in place, and Chris looked at it, it's like, okay, this is cool, we'll start from there. And then as we explore that, we uncover the machinations of Zelatath, you know, and that kind of naturally led to the battle with the Void. Well, where best to have conflict with the Void than the Sunwell, so that kind of moved naturally to the next chapter. And then finally, the thing that I think we've all been wondering about for the last 20 years is all the stuff, as Chris said, that the Titans have left behind. You know, the weird artifacts, the mysterious voices, the apparitions that appear. And this is a culmination of that, pulling those threads together and explaining a lot of what this has all been about. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that again, it's like with a cosmology chart like they had, I'm also very much of the mind that, you know, the cosmology chart is like the Silmarillion, and Vanilla WoW is like Lord of the Rings. And once, like, the scale of a story becomes so large, I think people
Authorization cleared. You are go for approach pad 3 9.
The ability to appreciate and the ability to relate to it. It's like, again, going back to Marvel, I think it's why Celestials wasn't that good. A lot of people didn't like Celestials. I can tell you why. It's because these massive planet-sized people are hard to fucking relate to. It's why they can't. Sorry, the Eternals.
Regulate your speed and maintain current vector.
Chris was up on stage and he announced the big reveal about the 3 expansions and the Soul Saga. I got strong Kevin Feige at Comic-Con vibe when he reveals a new phase of the MCU. Do you think that's an apt comparison where he reveals not just
we actually did kind of talk about it as reverence, because for us it was, we needed to, or we felt we needed to really establish with our players, like, yes, we are serious about this story, we have a plan for this story, and we are committed to it. But one thing I want to say, and it's important for everyone to know, that you can jump in, you don't have to start with War Within. If for whatever reason you somehow miss it next year, please don't. But if you do, you can jump in, you know, with Midnight, or you can even come in at the end and with The Last Titan. We're telling these as...
Sure, I mean, like, I think that's the case with Final Fantasy, same thing there, 100%. I feel like what I just hope is that after this trilogy is over, they're able to do like some sort of like story reset on the game and like kind of scale the game down a lot.
Distinct pieces, but they all tie together in this overarching story. And we wanted players to know, you know, we're committed, we're going to do this thing, and we'd like for them to join us on this journey.
And then beneath that, you know, when we talk about the 20th anniversary, this idea of, you know, John mentioned threads. Part of that is that we've continually moved forward. There's a lot of stories that we get to wrap up and places we get to visit and characters we get to visit with the 20th anniversary with a tale like this. This team has never...
I don't think that everything needs to be wrapped up, and I think that some things deserve not to be wrapped up. I think if you go back to Lord of the Rings, and also you can look at, you know, Game of Thrones. I think one of the reasons why the mysticism of Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones is compelling is because it's not fully explained. Like, who is the Lord of Light? What is this? Is this real? Is it fake? How real is it? How fake is it? Who knows? It's the mystery of it is what makes it compelling. Like the mystery of something of like, I think again, the 2 best examples in Lord of the Rings are Ungoliant and Tom Bombadil. You don't even know where they're from. It's never explained where they're from. They're just these massively powerful things, and in a way, explaining them takes away from the excitement, because it's like you know where like somebody does a face reveal and like they only look attractive and not like the way that you wanted them to look in their head, and it's always a downgrade. I think that's what happens. I think Dream's a great example. VTubers it happens with as well. There you go.
Everything this far in advance, so it's bringing a lot of detail, a lot of incredible passion into how we deliver on this 20 years of World of Warcraft, being homage to our past and creating a new beginning. And it's just, The team is like effervescent at this point, you know, because we know where we're going for a good period of time, and to be able to lean into it and create the threads between, to your point, when we talk about something like, you know, the MCU, you can see all the threads between them, and that's, in essence, you know, we'll be building quite a bit of that.
Here's a problem with the MCU, is that this is what I've heard from a lot of people, is that people don't want to get invested into the MCU because they feel like they have to understand context from 20 different movies and 3 different series in order to appreciate it. So I just whenever they're developing an expansion or content that's built around like the MCU.
That as well.
Right, and that is something I'm curious about how announcing 3 interconnected expansions like this impacts development for the team.
We've been evolving in order to serve the players in this way. So it's a journey that we're on. War Within has been in development for some time. We're also already working on the next one, on Midnight. And we've grown our team to support it. And not only that, we've built, essentially, we're building the foundation of how to work with 2...
By the way, just like a real quick thing. So, like, if you, like, they need to make it to where, like, the feet move a little bit more with, like, the old mounts. Because, like, it doesn't look natural with, like, the dragon riding for the old mounts because they're not moving in a natural way as if they're flying. Did you see what I'm saying? Like, watch it again. See how it's kind of like, it's just basically just being moved around. Now, I'm also assuming that, like, this is just going to be, yeah, flying pianos, yeah. It's like T-pose, yeah. And, like, the wings are nice, but they also have to make the feet move around, too, or it's not going to look realistic. And I understand, like, people might, oh, that's not a big deal. It's a massive fucking deal because you're going to be looking at it every fucking second. It's huge. The dragon riding mounts are amazing. So, just...
And the next one on Midnight. And we've grown our team to support it. And not only that, we've built, essentially, we're building the foundation of how to work with 2 expansions being created at the same time. And at the same time, we also created a live team. And that live team is filling the world in our 8-week patch cadence with the content in between that is sort of the novelty and the whimsy and the lightness of WoW, the audiences that, you know, the expansion teams will continue to focus on. You know,
I'm okay with the lightness and the whimsical stuff sometimes, but let's get some other people that are, like, being executed by being held upside down in water torture as well, right? Like, let's have like, you know, some torture quests. Let's have a quest where it's like, you know, some guy, it's like bears, so just go kill 50 bears. You're not trying to call them for the environment. You're not trying to help anybody. I just don't like bears. Just go kill them all. Just go kill all the bears.
Docking request accepted.
Why? Because I don't
Proceed
like
to your
bears.
designated
Yeah, it's that simple.
or seasons, etc. And they're filling in our holidays and turbulent timeways and...
I like the more... Like, it's one of the reasons why I got really attached, but I like the Cyberpunk story a lot, is because it had, like, the grit to it, where I knew that they weren't going to pull punches. Like, if they were going to do something, they would do it.
More activities for players to do so that we're crossing all of the different ways people play. So we're building this foundation for how we can have this, you know, basically a staggered approach. Although teams are going to be helping each other along the way, because there are moments where we can't. The development on WoW is very fluid and it moves back and forth, but we have a lot of really incredible resources now focused on really advanced our production methodology as well, and so we're going through this learning phase.
I think this is true. I mean, the proof is in the pudding with this. Look at Dragonflight. Dragonflight is the first time that we've had a legitimate roadmap, and they've followed through on the roadmap. It's not like, oh, they're not doing it. They have been doing it. It's been happening.
Figuring out how to do all this at the same time, because we're absolutely committed to it.
I think even just planning 3 expansions gives us a North Star for the goal too. We know what's going to be in all of these, and in doing that, we're able to do more things in parallel than we have in the past before something's necessarily had to happen sequentially. So yeah, we've already begun concept development for Midnight and Last Titan. We know what the look of some of these things are. We have a setting for all of them. We know what races we want to introduce there.
And I think this is a lot bigger deal than people are making out or are assuming, because think about how many systems, like let's look at Warlords of Draenor. Garrisons are dead. Nobody cares about garrisons. Nobody cares about, what was the other feature that WoD had? Ashran. Nobody cares about Ashran. It's dead. I think there's one other thing that they did that's also dead. Those like weird talents and like those like talent groups. Then you go back and Azurite gear is totally dead. Warfronts are totally dead. Corruptions are totally dead. Essences are totally dead. All of these things, like think about like 4 PoE seasons. Like think about, you take out Betrayal, you take out Bestiary, you take out Incursion, and you take out Heist. That's fucking huge, right? That would totally change the game. So think about how much more in-depth and better the game would be if it was being designed to be like just playing as slices of an expansion. Like, I think this is a huge deal. Yeah, Shards of Domination. Torghast is dead. BFA Islands are dead. Fuck, there's probably 50 of them that I'm not seeing. What else am I doing? Scenarios, that's like way back in the day. Yeah, Clash Order, dead. Dead. Horrific Visions, dead. Expeditions. Oh yeah, the missions, yeah, dead. We get it, yeah, a lot of these things are just
what heroes we want to bring in. We have heard from our players that, man, bring back some of our favorite heroes. So it was.
Don't say anything.
I'm not gonna. Come on. They saw Thrall in the cinematic, so they know Thrall's there. Okay, and we happen to have voice actor that's available to do Thrall, so that's good. Mitsa does Thrall.
It's Mitsa, yeah.
There's so many questions, and I'm sure you can't get into all of them, obviously, because of spoilers. But like, are these expansions expected to be shorter than normal expansions, or what's the deal there?
I mean,
I think they're probably going to be the length of Shadowlands or Dragonflight, but they're not going to be as long as BFA. I feel like BFA was longer, personally.
Since doing them faster, and you would imagine that's part of it, but the content...
Keep in mind, guys, they've said they're going to bring out faster expansions. It's Burning Crusade.
Will not be less. That's part of this journey we're going on, where we have this live team. So we will have the expansion teams fully focused on expansion content that will come out in our patches, and we're staying committed to this 8-week cadence with our content. And then within that, because we're really focused on delivering what you expect in an expansion, that will continue. But between those expansions is where we're going to be looking to get pretty creative. We're not ready to talk about future features yet, but we're going to be doing some significant things in the future. So expansions at their foundation is always going to be landscape to explore, and quests and raids and dungeons that we expect. How we evolve this story and tell this tale in between is probably going to evolve. We're taking some risks, we're experimenting.
Federal Flight Control would like to welcome you to this facility. Okay, Commander, land on pad 40.
Just don't, like, the only thing is that the best way to try something out is by making it not mandatory. Like the Mage Tower, for example. Or remember back whenever they added Seething Shore as a brawl? And like they were like, hey, try out this BG. Do you like it? You do? Okay, now it's in the game.
We're planning for, you know, some really cool features in the future too. So I'm pretty sure players will be pretty pleased with what we come up with.
Yeah, I mean, our expansion releases in the past were very much predicated on how quickly we could get them done. And, you know, over the course of, you know, 20 years worth of expansions.
Points of heavy traffic within the area.
You know pretty much how long
Maintain
it takes
safe
to do the
clearance distance.
brainstorming, how long it takes to do the world building, and then most importantly, how long it takes to be in public test, you know, so that we can really tune in. And more things can happen in parallel. But what's different now is that because we have, you know, great processes, we've got, you know, a bigger team, we're able to put out content when our players want it, not just when we're ready to release it. You know, so we can still hit that quality bar, but we can deliver.
I mean, this is again like my vibe, but like I'm curious for those of you guys that are playing Dragonflight now, how many of you feel like the content is coming out at a reasonable pace?
Contact. Deploying ground crew.
A lot of people are positive. That's huge. Like, as somebody who played WoW for like long time, that's huge.
Deliver it as players, you know, are ready to consume it. And the cool thing about being in an MMO is we get a lot of data. We know when players are, okay, they're done. They want something new to do here, or you know what, there's deliver it. So, you know, doing 20 years worth of expansions, you know, we know pretty much how long it takes to do the brainstorming, how long it takes to do the world building, and then most importantly, how long it takes to be in public test, you know, so that we can really tune it. And more things can happen in parallel. But what's different now is that because we have, you know, great processes, we've got, you know, a bigger team, we're able to put out content when our players want it, not just when we're ready to release it. You know, so we can still hit that quality bar, but we can deliver.
I mean, this is again like my vibe, but like I'm curious for those of you guys that are playing Dragonflight now, how many of you feel like the content is coming out at a reasonable, good pace? A lot of people are positive. That's huge. Like, as somebody who played WoW for like long time, that's huge.
Deliver it as players, you know, are ready to consume it. And the cool thing about being in an MMO is we get a lot of data. We know when players are, okay, they're done. They want something new to do here, or you know what, they're still in there having a good time. Just we don't need to put this out right now.
I know the many Blizzard teams, you know, talk about how they work independent of one another, but it really did strike me, you know. You announced 3 expansions. The Overwatch 2 team announced not just one hero, but the next 2 heroes. Diablo 4 announced teased their next expansion, even though the game's only been 6 months in. Is this as developers of live games, is this radical transparency just something that the company just saw together as the way forward?
2 heroes.
100%. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we exist because of the communities we have, and our fans are so dedicated, as you've probably seen here at BlizzCon. They just want information. They just want to know what we're doing and what's coming. And part of that was a bit of an experiment, like for us putting out the roadmap so far ahead. And players.
Yeah, I think she's definitely right about that. Because you look at people were unhappy about Diablo because they didn't do that, and people were really happy about WoW because they did.
Excited by it instead of, you know, waiting for the next drop, which, you know, we're experimenting, and it seems to be working as far as that goes. But I do think Blizzard overall, and certainly our team, we appreciate being more open.
As you've mentioned, the 20th anniversary of WoW is coming up. Just big milestone for Warcraft as a whole. Just in terms of the future of the Warcraft series, you know, there's so many things now with streaming and theaters are back. Are we going to see Warcraft expand out into multimedia, into shows?
Ooh, great question. Holy shit, let's go. Where's the WoW anime of Arthas?
movies again. It's been, what, 2016 since the movie came out.
Yeah, don't
But it's a
ask
great
me,
movie,
ask
right?
this guy.
You know, I mean, that was one of the big reasons that we've somewhat reorganized as, you know, a Warcraft universe. So Holly's part of the leadership team for that. So not just overseeing WoW, that's her.
That's kind of big for him to say. I feel like that's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I mean, shit. So they're kind of confirming.
You know, her baby, but also contributes to some of the strategic decisions that we have around where do we want to go next. You know, and we have a full green light process for Warcraft. You know, we take, you know, pitch ideas from across the team. We also have things that we like to do. Everything begins with somebody's passion around, I would like to go chase this, or I believe in this. And then we see, okay, how does that enhance Warcraft? How does that work for Warcraft? Does it make sense for us to make a game in this genre for players that play other Warcraft games? You know, like WoW. And we were, like you saw with Rumble. If you played Rumble, we were very sensitive to the fact that a lot of people that would be checking it out have experienced Warcraft through the RTS, through WoW, through.
Yeah, people probably not. A lot of people aren't going to like WoW Rumble just because it's a phone game. Oh yeah, Blizzard sent me a box of like Warcraft Rumble stuff. I need to open that up. I'll probably do that maybe tomorrow or something. I think them comparing and not even nodding to the MCU is a huge red flag though, because that ship is already sinking. I don't think that's bad at all. I mean, the truth is, Marvel, the MCU is the gold standard. It is. Like, that shit printed money for over 10 years. It was, yeah, it was. And that's the thing, right? It's like, I mean, nothing lasts forever. And the reason why it stopped being the gold standard is their fault. People still like the MCU. People want to see the stories. It's just that the movies aren't good.
Hearthstone, and that we're consistent with that universe. That's a big reason why, you know, Chris is back. You know, we wanted him to, you know, be kind of the arbiter of this is in, this is out. Plus, he's the only person that can pronounce some of those names. But no, seriously, we are going to be. We start with games. We are going to expand beyond that. Our main purpose this year has been about, hey, let's get all this aligned. I mean,
I really hope that they don't try to do another movie. I hope, just guys, come on, like Castlevania, Cyberpunk, like they did the Witcher series. Like, just make a fucking anime. Just make an anime like everybody else does. Arcane, right? Just stop. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't do something. Just do a fucking anime, because that's what people like.
Everything that you just saw yesterday, this is the efforts of, you know, starting in January, like how do we make all of this come together? How do we make this big moment? How do we signal to the world that, you know, Warcraft is a universe, 240 million strong, and we're going to grow from there. And we are going to branch into other things. But first, we wanted to have people start seeing this as not just a single game, but really a plan for the future. And when I said 3 decades, I'm not kidding. You know, we all see this as caretakers for this universe. This is, you know, not only your childhood, yeah, my late teens, and you know, but it's going to be for your kids, and you know, maybe for my granddaughter. And I hope, you know, and we're going to be telling the stories that, you know, we're going to be reading to kids at night, or they're going to be streaming at night while we're asleep. But this is going to be part of the culture, and it's our goal.
Oh, you want to do that? You got to update the fucking engine, man. Like, God, man, like, how you, like, you get 20 people together in an area, how you can't even have a battle. You can't, I'm not even talking about a war in Warcraft. You can't have a battle in Warcraft. Like, bro, like, you get a few more expansions, you're not going to be able to do a duel. They're going to update this engine, man. Holy shit.
To have this extend beyond us, and we're going to hand the baton to the next group of innovators and super creative people working on platforms that haven't even been imagined yet doing Warcraft.
Right. You know, something that Aaron said on stage that struck out to me is, he said there's a new clarity of vision that he didn't have before. Is it fair to say that this is, a Blizzard reboot now, or in the process of?
I think so. I mean, I think we have moved, at least like for us, I think we've moved from being very product-centric, where we think of this game, to being very player-centric. It's like, what do our players want? What are the genres that are cool to them? What are the platforms that are cool to them? How do they want to interact with each other? Because we make social games. I mean, everything in WoW, we talk about this all the time, is how is this actually more social? Yeah, it's one of our platforms. Does
you guys think about how is it more social? Well, like, I'm glad that they're doing the cross-realm guilds. I am. I'm very happy about that. But they just need to, they need to go back and they need to look at why Classic is better at building social infrastructure. They've got to look at it. Like, you can't just try to make it you're not going to get people to treat the game like a Discord server again, because whenever they did that, there wasn't any Discord. You've got to think of a new way to do it. And the reason why Classic incentivized, and there were a lot of people grouping and being social, you want to know the real reason? It's because it was fucking hard and punishing. Like, you would get a quest in Red Ridge Mountains, and you had to be, Lieutenant Fangor is, what, 26 or 27? You're going into the zone at, what, level 19? Bro, he's gonna beat your ass. There's, a bunch of other mobs around him, too. It's a massive shit show. So, yeah, 26 was Giga social age. I go, yeah, he's massive. So that's where they really need to see things. They need to look at what was successful back in the days of Classic and figure out how to make that happen again. And the truth is that in doing so, they will have to remove some conveniences and some things that are just kind of easier for players. They will have to make the game harder. They do. They have to make it harder. And there's no way that it can't happen. I just want manly characters. My husband can cosplay, turn up the heat. Yes, sure. You're saying that people are social by necessity. So now it isn't one, so they won't do it. Yes. So this is what I believe. I believe MMO players, if you took a sample of all MMO players and a sample of the general population, the percentage of people that will avoid or are, the proverbial introverted people, right? The people that are introverted, want to keep to themselves, there will be more of them who play MMOs than people in the general population. The point that I'm making is that people who are MMO players are generally more introverted. They usually keep to themselves. And so you need to give them a fundamental external reason to be social, because they are not naturally social. They're like, oh, let's go out and just start making friends. Are there people like that play MMOs? I don't know. Out of a million people, is there one person that breaks the rule? Yeah, I bet there is. But I'm talking about the norm. And in Classic WoW, if you want to kill Hogger, you want to get your quest done, you can sit there and you can be antisocial and you can just not do it. You just grind. Or you suck it up and you invite somebody and you kill Hogger. And I think getting people to take that step is a good thing. However, I understand that the developers are concerned. They are like, oh, we don't want to make people have to be social. Well, guess what? If you don't make people be social, they won't be social. Because that's why they're playing the video game in the first place. It's because real life didn't make them be social. So here they are in your world instead.
Feature make it more social, more fun to be together, or not. And that's how we distinguish ourselves.
Well, John, Holly, thank you so much for your time. And for everything else from BlizzCon 2023, keep it here on IGN.
That was a good interview. I'll link it to you guys. It was really good. Social work, it shouldn't be completely soloable. Well, it should be. So it's like, it's such a weird thing. Because World of Warcraft was massively popular because it was a game that you could play primarily solo. But I think also what it really did is that it just hit the middle of that spectrum. Like here, there were a lot of people who leveled to 60 without doing any groups or doing anything else like that.
But what's happened over the years is that WoW Classic has gone from there to here. Now, in my opinion, I think that it should go back to at least here. Like, retail WoW should go back to at least here. Because it is just simply better for an MMO. And this is the problem with selling something like this, is the reasons why WoW Classic is more social are bad things for the player. It's bad that you have to find a group to kill Lieutenant Fangor, even though it's a normal mob. Most people probably have to make a group to do that. It's bad that you can't heal yourself at all as a warrior. You have like no sustainability at all. But that also makes it to where needing a priest is even more important. And that's really the difference, is that you want to have new cinematic on Wowhead. Yeah, I'll look at that in a minute. Is that you want to have a situation where people have to, where people, you don't have to interact with other players, but if you do, there is a tremendous benefit. Like, a tremendous, massive benefit.
Locked with the big 10 combo count. Let's get it, baby. Thank you so much, my man, KC Skills, and thank you for everybody supporting the stream. We have unlocked the 10 minutes extra on stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Does OG has to sign up on the paperwork live? Nah, I ain't signing up on that paperwork. Not right now. Just get the estimate. Just get the estimate. You know, like just get. She don't need to get the whole. She's because like obviously the dude's trying to get her, hey, buy it, hey, go with us. It's like, no, don't pick one right now, just wait, get the estimate and let's talk about it. Let's not just go with it right now. So let's see here. Says I prefer RGT. Well, I mean, that's good, no problem, bro. I mean, is RGT streaming? If he's streaming right now, go watch him or go watch his videos. But you know what I prefer? Everybody say, put the emote in the chat. Put the emote in the chat if you know what I prefer. Oh, man. Nintendo pumping out the content this year. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff, man. Combo breaker. Yeah, those numbers were looking spooky, bro. Those numbers were looking very spooky. Yo, what's up, Justin? Welcome. Yes, this exactly got to shop around. Shinru's got it. Y'all know the deal. Y'all know the deal. Oh, snap. Let's see. OJ, what's up, man? Back on the grind for DoorDash now, man. Taking a break home. Now I'm going to make my dinner. Me and my girlfriend 1 year anniversary soon, so we choose a movie together. Nice, 1 year anniversary. Congratulations on that. Let's go. Congratulations on that. You got to go with the marble countertops. I think she's trying to go with the granite. I think she kind of wants to go with the granite. Let's see. OJ, no chat feed. Okay, the chat must be busted. Yeah, the chat's busted, boys and girls. There should be a chat feed, but it's not working right now. Let me double check why it's not working. Or I can't check why it's not working, but I can check, or I can try to get it to work, but yeah, right now it's not working. So I'm not sure why it's not. It should be right here, right? That's where it usually is. And it's supposed to just pop up automatically, but for some reason it's acting ghetto. So yeah. I can see this, Shinra. What's up, man? Welcome. I can see your comments. Nintendo got me worried, to be honest. I really wonder what the story will be adapted, or whether they'll come up with a whole new story for this movie. I mean, I don't understand the reason to be worried. Like, Nintendo's the one, Miyamoto, and they're the ones who made they're the ones who made Zelda. So I mean, like, so it's like, I can understand being worried if it's like somebody who doesn't know the source material, but Nintendo, like, it's Miyamoto. He created Zelda. Nintendo, they're the ones who created it. So they're the best ones for the job to create the story and create everything. So, I mean, if it's not good, then there's not anybody else that would be able to do it because they're the ones who created it, right? So, I don't know. I don't see it as anything to be worried about. Just like I wasn't worried about the Mario movie when people are like, I'm worried. I'm like, no, I'm not worried. Like, if it's good, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not. But they're the ones who created it. So, like, what... You know, it's not like it's licensed out to somebody else, you know? I'm skeptical of Zelda movie. Mario's one thing. Nah, people were doing the same thing, Danny boy. People were saying the same thing with Mario movie. It's not gonna work. It's this and that. It's not, now that the Mario movie worked, now everyone's like, oh, well, it's one thing with Mario. Zelda's, it's a whole, it's like, nah, it's both the same thing. Like, it's a movie. It ain't anything more than that. It's a movie. You gotta do all the movie stuff. You got to get the right actors. You got to get the right script. You got to do all the same things you do with the Mario movie. It's just live action. It's a bit different, but it ain't no different in terms of them creating a good plot or creating a good set pieces or finding good actors or whatever the case is. It's the same thing. Like, there ain't nothing to be worried about. Like I said, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Like they own the property though. Like, it's theirs. So it's not like there's somebody else that could do something different. It's theirs, you know? So so I don't really see what the issue is. Like, just wait and see. There ain't nothing to really be worried about. Like, unless, I mean, we can just not get a Zelda movie. I don't know. We can do that because throughout most of my life, there's been no Zelda. There's been 0 Zelda movies. So I mean, we can just not get anything. And we can just do that. Shout outs to Carlos with the 12 months. So Sony is making Legend of Zelda movie. How much Sony branding are we going to see sneaked in? None. Outside of, they're doing distribution, and they're doing some of the co-funding it, but it's not a Sony movie. Like, it's Nintendo's funding most of it, so you're not really going to see anything outside of Sony Pictures, in like the like, you know, whatever. But they're not going to allow Sony to sneak in like a PS5 places and all that. Sony's doing this because they're going to make a lot of money. It ain't got nothing to do with their video games and all that. So yeah. Says Rings of Power proves that sometimes it's better to not make something. Nah, you could just not watch it. It's never not better to just not make something. Just don't watch. If it sucks, then it sucks. If it's trash, then it's trash. But it's never not good to not make something. You know? I disagree with that. Like, even like the crap Mario Bros 3 movie. Yeah, that was trash, but I'm still glad it was made. Yeah, it sucked. I hated it when I was younger. I thought it was trash, but I'm still happy that it was made because it was either that or nothing at all. And it didn't hurt Mario. Mario was still lit. Like, people still played Mario. It's fine. Shout out to Enrique.
Hi, OJ.
What's up?
It's been a while for me. I've had health issues lately, but pushing through it.
Sorry to hear about that.
I wanted to show some support, and I'm ready to listen to your stream while I game a bit.
Hey, thank you so much. First of all, Enrique, sorry to hear about your health issues, my boy. You know, it's never good to hear about that, but I'm happy that maybe you're getting a bit better. Hopefully this stream can provide you with some entertainment so you enjoy, you know, gaming and kind of getting back to your health. And of course, I'll definitely pray for you for everything to be good. So big bless ups, man. Hopefully you get better, Enrique. And yeah, just take it one day at a time, brother. Thank you for the $5.35. 12 guys, we are almost at that 20 count. We're getting towards that 15. We get that 15-minute extension on the combo count. You guys get to hear the combo breaker once again. Let's go. But get well soon, man. Seriously. So yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie brought forth a variety of new games. I'm wondering if the same will hold true with the Legend of Zelda movie. The Super Mario Bros. Movie did not bring forth a variety of new games. They were already planning those games well beforehand. The Mario movie didn't all of a sudden, you know, just say, now there's going to be a bunch of games. They were already planning everything. So whatever they were planning, it had nothing to do with the Zelda movie. Nintendo was already planning all of those games for Mario well beforehand. They were planning everything. So I don't think it's like, oh, there's a Zelda movie, that means there's going to be, now they're making a bunch of Zelda games, right? I think it's, if they're going to do it, they were going to do it already, and it's just part of them creating a lot of games like they create for any big franchise, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. It's not like, you know, one of them, they're directly tied to each other. It's just, that's what they were going to do anyway, right? I mean, obviously it's good to have it paired, like that's good marketing, but Nintendo's picture, like when they started doing the Mario movie, that was like 7-8 years ago. So like, I don't think they were developing, you know, Princess Peach then, or whatever the case is. Like, whenever an idea comes up, they'll do it. So I think it's more of an opportunity. And then obviously they always create Mario games, you know. So just also keep that in mind, you know, keep that in mind. David Gibson just said that Nintendo got ripped off by Universal, among other things about Zelda movie. What do I think? I don't know what ripped off by Universal means. When it comes down to that, so I don't, that's not enough information for me to think about. So ripped off by what money, who ripped them off? Universal, how? So what happened? That's not enough information for me. So I don't think they're ripped off or why. What more is outside of that? OJ, how you doing today? Buddy, I like the video. Thank you, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Docking
What's up,
clamps
Armchair?
retracted. Regulate speed to clear of exclusion zone.
Continue the trend of each Nintendo franchise movie being made by different filmmakers. I think one of those would be the one for Pokemon. Well, the Pokemon company would pick that one, right? So that's not necessarily Nintendo. That's the Pokemon company. They handle all of that, right? Nintendo doesn't have much involvement with the Pokemon movie or license like that. Now they do publish the games, and obviously they have some involvement in some of the stuff. Anime, the game, trading cards. That's really all Pokemon company, right? So I'm not sure David Gibson's probably speculating as he didn't go into much detail. Yeah, then I don't really have any. I don't have any thoughts or any reason to think anything got ripped off. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I don't know. Nothing that I can really say add to that. So you don't think live action Zelda movie will encourage Nintendo to put out some games? It seems like Nintendo would be fools to not do that from a marketing standpoint. Nintendo always puts out Zelda games. That's the thing. They're not like, oh, we're making a movie. Let's make more Zelda games. Like that, they've never been that way. So as someone who's been around for a very long time, Kevin, I don't know if you're a younger fan or not, but Nintendo always makes Mario games. They always make Mario movies. They always make Mario games. They've been making lots of Mario games for a very long time now, right? A movie didn't necessarily say, oh, we got to do way more than usual. They were always going to make whatever games they were going to make. So I don't really think it has anything to do with that. They're always going to make multiple Zelda games. They make a lot of Zelda games. We get Hyrule Warriors. We get all different types of stuff when it comes to Zelda. So they're gonna make a bunch of Zelda games regardless. They're gonna make ports and remasters and little games and eShop and all this different type of stuff regardless of whether there's a movie or not. So that's the reason why. We've had a lot of Mario games released in a short period of time before in the past. Hell, with the Wii U era, they were releasing Mario all over the place, right? New Super Mario Bros 2, like they were releasing lots of stuff. So like, to me, I've always seen Nintendo release a lot of Mario stuff, right? So I don't know if this, all of a sudden they say, oh, now we're gonna make more. Like, I guess, but Nintendo's done that in the past without a Mario movie, you know? So that's the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. Zelda games come out regardless of whatever is going on. We get at least one Zelda game a year. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's more, but I don't really think that it's going to be any different, but we'll see. So most likely be a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom type movie, since it sold more than any of those games combined. I mean, they've already been working on the game for quite some time. So I mean, or sorry, the movie for quite some time. So I mean, it might, but I mean, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, those are video games. This is a movie, so I mean, I don't know if it's going to have like a Zonai arm and the Sheikah slate. It might not have all that. They might want to just make it a basic movie. There's a lot of power-ups that are not in the Mario movie that are in current games. Like, for example, Odyssey, right? Odyssey is a big selling game. Mario does not have Cappy in the movie, right? So I don't think we can just assume that it's going to be based off of these big selling games when Odyssey's the best selling 3D Mario, right? And there's not Cappy. There's not a bunch of stuff from Odyssey in that game. So I wouldn't assume just because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom sold a lot, it's going to be just like that. I wouldn't assume that, especially considering the Mario movie doesn't have like anything. So yeah. No, I meant it's open world, so it'd be easier to recreate in a movie. Yeah, like I said, once again, I wouldn't
Frame shift drive
the fact that
charging.
this is that means it's going to be this. Like, it could take place mainly in a dungeon. Like, legit, they could make it to where it's just they're out there, they go into a dungeon, and Link fights through the dungeon at the very end, Ganon's there, right? That could be the movie. Like, that could be most of the movie is him in a damn dungeon. So once again, I would not assume that it's going to be like it's open world. It's going to be like Tears of the Kingdom. I would not assume that. You know, I really wouldn't. It could be. It's going to be like a dungeon type of movie, right? Where they're outside and they go into the dungeon and then they go from there. And like there's a bunch of traps and different stuff Link has to fight through. Then it you know, climaxes with Ganon at the end of it, right? That could be the focus of the movie, right? We got to wait and see. We can't assume just because Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom sold well, that means that's the script for the movie. Once again, you know? So I'm just saying that, like I said, because once the movie, they show it off, and once the movie comes out, so it is what it is. It's got to be a trilogy, start with Kid Link at the end with Adult Link. I don't think it's going to do that, Daniel. That's too much time. I don't think they're going to commit to a trilogy, and just, I don't think they're going to do that. But we'll see. We will see. So do you think there'll be a new Zelda game to capitalize for the movie? I mean, people said that about Mario, and there was no, people were like, where's the new Mario game? So I'm pretty sure if there's a Zelda game around the time, but there's not going to be any type of game that's coincides with that the same, like they're not going to make like a movie game. I don't think they're going to do that. Like whenever the next Zelda game is ready, they'll come out, you know, and maybe it'll be around the time that the movie's ready. Maybe they'll try to line it up, but they're always going to make new Zelda games, guys. They're always going to make, you know, big new Zelda games and little games and spin-offs and side things. So, I mean, regardless, we're going to get those. So if it lines up with the movie, great, you know. But I don't think anything's going to be made just for this, you know. Personally. See, New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the 3DS one. New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the Wii one. I'm very well aware of that. Thank you for some games. They're not changing Peach's face. The game is in development for some time. I haven't seen the update from the. They haven't shown anything from the game, but the box art doesn't match the footage. Like in terms of the new updated box art, does not quite match the footage from what they've shown from the game. But really, all they did was just make it a bit more expressive. Right? Some people were trying to say they completely changed their face. They didn't. They just made her mouth a little bit different when it comes to her expression. But that was about it. But so they do. So I was like, Star Wars, even if it's garbage, will keep selling. Unfortunately, Zelda has a much better track record of being good. Yeah. Let's see here. Yes, it's confirmed that it's a live action. It's confirmed live action. Mike Sean Williams with the $10. It says, I think Tom Holland would be the perfect candidate for Link in a live action Zelda movie. Just imagine he just have that look about him, does he? I get Dwayne Johnson or maybe Batista for Ganondorf. I think, I mean, I don't know if they're going to want to pay The Rock like that or Batista. I mean, Batista could be good for Ganon. That'd be kind of dope for Ganon. I'd be down for that. But any big like 6'5" or 6'4" dude, like all that would be that can act. That'd be good for Ganon. That'd be good for Ganon. Thank you, Mike Sean Williams, with a big $10 I do appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the Big 10. That's actually a 2 times combo points. So we're up to 14 guys, one more, and the combo breaker will be revealed, and we will unlock that, and we'll unlock another 15 minutes on stream. Let's go. Thank you so much, Mike Sean. What's up, Jack? The movie's gonna evolve around Mr. Miyamoto's script. That was the scratch, not the straight copy paste from the original plot from. Yeah, that's what I think too. Like, I think it's gonna be like that. Sorry, I hit my mic. I don't think there's anything wrong with the live action, guys. Like, it'll be fine. We already got like a CG. But wait a minute, hold up. The One Piece live action was really good. Everyone really liked the One Piece live action. So I think you're just more of an anime or animation person already. Because the One Piece live action was actually good. I watched an episode of it just because I said you guys told me to watch it. And yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I don't know One Piece, but it seems pretty cool. There was some of the outfits were kind of weird. But yeah. But everyone, all the One Piece fans, a lot of the One Piece fans said that it was really good. So, upset with live action. Yeah, I think some of you guys are just big anime or animation, like CG fans, so you guys don't want anything live action. That's fine. You can be upset with it. You don't have to watch. You know? Not everybody's gonna like every single thing or every single decision, and you're allowed to be upset with whatever. So don't watch it. You know, if you think that it's not gonna be good, or if you think it's gonna be bad, or if you're upset with it being live action, just not watch it. That's also one way of getting around it, right? I heard a few people say Tears of the Kingdom slows down in sales. Yeah, the sales obviously slow down after the initial big push, but the problem with people saying that is that that's how Zelda games are. Breath of the Wild slowed down after its big push at the beginning. It slowed down. That's how sales are, and then it just continuously sells over time. You know, so they sold through. Oh, shout outs to Tat. Yeah, some of you guys just like animated. Thank you for the $3, Tat, and that does get us at the 15. Real quick, we'll talk about Tears of the Kingdom sales in just a bit. But thank you so much for the 15, Tat. And like, I get it. Some of you guys like animation, you guys don't like live action, and that's cool. Like I said, you can watch it or you can not. I don't really care. I just want a good movie. I wasn't hoping for Studio Ghibli or anything like that because I don't care about Studio Ghibli or I don't care about different movie studios or whatever. I just care about the end product. Is it good? Is it good or is it not? You know, that's all I care about. It could have been a live action Mario. I would have been like, okay, is it good or is it not good? That's all I care about. I don't care about whatever animation style that it is. I don't care about that. It's not a video game, it's a movie. So at the end of the day, you're just sitting down there and looking at it. So if it's really cool CG with really cool live action like Lord of the Rings, then that's great. If it's completely animated CG, then that's fine. If it's completely anime and it's Studio Ghibli and it's good, that's fine. I don't care. You know, so for me, it's a little bit different because I'm not a movie person and I'm not like a movie stickler. So I just want to see a good product at the end of the day. So if it's a good movie, then I'll be happy. If it's not a good movie, then I won't be happy. But yeah, whatever they go with, that's fine with me. Shout outs to Tato. Thank you for the $3. And we have unlocked the... Let's go, combo breaker. Thank you so much. 15 minutes added on to the stream. Let's go. Then Greg with the $1.99 says, I think live action Zelda works. Hashtag Black Ganondorf. Dwayne Johnston in the house, man. Let's go. 16. But I see what Tat's saying. I see what you guys are saying. You know, for those who are wanting animation or animated Zelda. I'm going to watch it. I just feel Zelda being more magical sense with the animation will be better. And yes, I watch a lot of live action, so it's not that. Yeah, it's all good. Whatever you guys think. If you're upset, then that's fine. Be upset. You know, it's fine. Would it be PG or PG-13? I don't know what it's going to be PG or I don't know what they're going to do. So who knows? Who knows about all that? I would have animated movie, but I like live action could work for Zelda. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, people have saying like it's like Lord of the Rings. Zelda's like Lord of the Rings a little bit. It can have that tone. So if it's as good as Lord of the Rings, I think that would obviously be a good move. For Lord of the Rings, you know, if it's as good or if it's popular as that. So it makes sense if they're trying to do it if they're trying to get it like that, right? Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe have announced. Okay, let me finish. Sorry, AB James. Let me finish with my first comment. Yeah, so Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, it shipped out 18.5 million the last quarter, and then it sold through that 18.5 million that they shipped out, then it sold another million on top of that to 19.5. So pretty much it sold through that extra million or however many millions they had. They sold through that shipment of 8.5 million, and then it sold another million copies on top of that. So that's really good. Obviously, nearly 20 million units before its first holiday. You know, people are saying, oh, it's slowed down. It's like, yeah, that's how Breath of the Wild sales are. That's how pretty much all Nintendo core game sales are. Splatoon sales are like that. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Pretty much every single game has big sales at the beginning, and then it slows down, and then it sells steadily. So I'm not sure what people are expecting. I get some people were maybe saying 24, 23 million. I get that, and it didn't sell that high, but it still has its first holiday this year, so it's going to be over 20 million by the end of the holiday season, and it's going to be right on track to outsell Breath of the Wild one of these days once they get that Switch 2 going and all that, like I talked about, in the next however number of years. And plus, once sales and discounts kind of happen there, Breath of the Wild is still selling too, though. But I think both of these games are going to sell in tandem for a long time. But Tears of the Kingdom is going to sell more in the holiday, and once there's a bit more sales, and once this next Switch comes out and they port it over, because you know they will. So it's all good. I guess maybe some people were thinking that it's going to outsell it in one day. Breath of the Wild took 3 years to sell 20 million units. It sold very slowly, right? It sold very, very slowly over the course of time. That's how Tears of the Kingdom is going to do. You know, it's going to sell slower and just add in as it goes along. So yeah. Isn't it also going to slow down before holidays, then go crazy? Yeah, that's kind of how all the games are. They kind of slow down before the holidays, and then once holidays hit, it speeds up. It definitely picks up. That's how Pokemon games are. People were saying the same thing about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that it's slowed down so much, but it's still selling. They still sold another however many 100,000 units plus this past quarter, and it's going to continue selling. It's going to continue doing well. It's going to sell more in the holiday. People look at the sales numbers for Nintendo games right now and think that they sold all of that like in 1 year, and it's like, no, they sold Breath of the Wild over 7 years. They sold Pokemon Sword and Shield over, you know, six years or whatever the case is, 5-6 years since 2018. So these games sell over time. It's not, they don't just get them all right then and there. So that's the problem. People just, they think that Nintendo sells 50 million copies every single quarter or whatever. That's just not the case. Shout outs to B Martin. Yo, oh my God, what the 5? B Martin is absolutely killing it right now. Jesus. 225 donos, membership renewal, and also 5 gifted memberships on the stream. Oh my goodness, that gets us to 21 and another.
What a bunch of crybaby bitches. Folks, welcome to a channel, and there's no other way of putting it. Look, I spend all weekend working, researching stuff of what's happening in the world. It's not all that easy these days. It's going kind of hard for a lot of people right now. And to see that so many, what I can only assume are grown-ass men, crying about having it tough in a fucking video game, it's damn depressing. Are you adults? Is this all like children? I mean, 97% of people demand a PvE specific server. Okay, you're playing a fucking video game. You're not dying for real. People are dying right now for real. That's no joke. That is the world we live in right now. And you're triggered because someone shot you in a video game? Look, I enjoy hauling cargo and doing the peaceful stuff as much as anyone. But if someone just drops by and shoots you, that's the way it is. It is a game. You play any way you want. And you know what? Personally, I don't go around doing that. I don't just go around shooting random people. But it is part of the experience to, yeah, kind of figure out how careful you're going to be. Look, I was in Pyro. I've been uploading content regarding that, by the way. If you're interested, go watch some of my other videos. I have even more to upload. And by the way, if it's your first time here and you're thinking of playing Star Citizen, I would appreciate if you use the links below. It's going to have the referral that will give you a bit more extra money. Always appreciate it. And my advice is get yourself the Aurora right now for $45-50. With referral, you get like 5,000 bucks of extra in-game money. It's all good. It is a game. You don't have to lose your shit over this. My first experience in Pyro as a die-hard PvEer had me in stitches. Dear hardcore PvE player, let's just check one of these because stay in Stanton or face the consequences of PvP in Pyro. The choice is yours. You can make 1,000 threads screaming and complaining, but CIG has made its stance on the matter and game design decisions quite clear over the years. There will be more and less lawful systems. That has always been. You're not dying for real. You're playing again. You will respawn. You will, again. I was in Pyro, right, and I saw a guy drop by with Vanguard ship of some kind. Don't remember. And I didn't want to shoot the guy. I was in my Corsair. I just had to somehow tell the body language or how he was moving, and it was actually kind of fun to have my the heavy armor gear and my gun ready and just kind of stay close to potential cover if he started shooting. And once I saw that he was cool, we were both cool, and it was fine. That is part of the experience. And sure, if the guy is a nutcase and starts shooting at you right away, or maybe that's what he enjoys playing at, that's fine too. And yeah, sure, I get it. I do get it. And it has happened to me before. I was coming back with my Prospector 100% Quantanium, and a dude just torps you in the hangar. Yes, that sucks. It sucks. Is that guy potentially a real-world lunatic? Yeah, maybe it is. With so many players, you will have crazy people playing a video game. Is that enough to throw a childish fit over it? No, it's really not. Grow a pair of balls and go on playing, or go do something else. Touch some grass, talk with your family, your wife, your people, whatever that is, and understand that this is just a game. There's nothing more to this. People demand PvE. Let's just take this. Oh, fuck. Since we are posting assertions without evidence, I decided to give it a go. Yeah, it could well be. Yeah, sure. Now, is it really all that crazy if people want specific PvE servers? Honestly, if you ask, I don't give a damn. If someone wants to play in a PvE specific server and that makes them happy and that makes CIG money, I guess it could potentially be a solution of some kind for people that don't want to engage with others and just see them and be in their little safe space. I don't give a flying fuck about that. Honestly, I will probably still play in the PvP server, even though I'm not engaging personally that much in PvP myself. I mean, completely honest, at times, especially in the typical, if you're doing a bunker and someone just shows up, I probably shoot him just in case to be safe, because in my experience, chances are they will shoot you in the back like 9 times out of 10, so why even wait, okay? And yeah, someone will cry, oh, I wasn't planning on shooting you. Okay, again, it is part of the game, but people are so fragile, so fucking delicate, that getting killed in a video game sets them off in this traumatic experience. They go through PTSD when they get shot in fucking Star Citizen. It is insane. PvE versus... I mean, that's all the conversation is going about. That's all there is. Where are all these people doing griefing? Yeah, and people do grief, and griefing is very